College. Both teams G'd up and ready to go for this one. They have
Welcome back here as we are getting set. Oh, what a lovely shot that is. And we are just getting ready here for the big one. St. Mary's College against Naparima College. Both teams big winners on the opening round. St. Mary's College winning by 8 goals to 0. Naparima, they went even better, winning their opening fixture by 10 goals to 0. But we are here at the St. Mary's College grounds, so it means that St. Mary's, or as they're fondly called, CIC, they're at home. They will have home advantage against the Southerners, Naparima. Naparima, who over the last few years have really been dominating the secondary schools football, and we expect today that they're going to give St. Mary's College a real run for their money. But it's early days. This is their second round of games, so we're not too sure who is who in terms of how good is really Naparima or how good is St. Mary's. But today we should have some answers. I'm Colin Murray alongside Brent Sancho and Gordon Pear. Guys, it's an interesting. Gordon, let me turn to you first. It should be really interesting. It will give us an idea just how good these two teams are when we have a look at them today.
Yeah, definitely. They send out the early challenge, to all comers by getting the biggest wins on the opening day. But they'll have to prove themselves against each other. Both teams, they got players who got hat tricks. One is starting on the bench. That's Francis for the Naparima team. But Rodante, that's Ryan, he's going to be starting for the St. Mary's College team. And of course, Kyle Phillips, he's going to have a lot to say about what is going to take place here today. Yeah,
he is going to lead from the front. Very instrumental captain, Brent.
Yeah, and he has to be. Obviously, this is a team that spent last season in the divisional phase of this tournament. Now that they're promoted, as I mentioned in the build-up, guys, we would have gotten a little snippet of them in the intercal, and they had a couple of good performances, and it's now really about staying in this division. And I think that would be the sentiment expressed by the very experienced Michael Grayson, the head coach of this St. Mary's outfit. But this is a difficult proposition for them. A Naparima College team that is buoyed by a couple transfers coming in. A lot of solidity in the back with Josiah and, of course, Vespri and others in the middle of the park that provides the impetus for them going forward. Of course, we mentioned Panto, an experienced campaigner up front as well.
Well, there are the officials. The experienced Crystal Sobers is the referee. Ainsley Rochard and Karen Myers, they will carry the assistant referee duties, and the fourth official, of course, is Gacy McLeod. So the players, the two captains are going to be taking the toss, while the St. Mary's players, they are just saying their prayers. Let's have a quick look at the starting lineup. St. Mary's first, Jabali Doyle, there's Mikai Pascal, Marley Callender, Darius Humphrey, Isaiah Morris, Aaron McLeod, Raul Aguilera Nunes, Dusan Cooper, Kyle Phillip, the skipper Ryan Radaland, Elijah Wong, and the coach Michael Grayson. Let's have a look at the formation.
Well, it's a 4-3-3. Look for Humphrey, buoyed by his stint with the New York Red Bulls over the summer to provide the width going up the left-hand side. And, of course, Kyle Phillip leads the line for St. Mary's College. A hat-trick in his last game. I expect him to be gunning for more goals.
And the Naparima College lineup, of course, they start Tyrese Romain in goal. There's Antonio Hills, Jaron Pascal, Josiah Cooper, Jawan Bailey, Tyrell Rajun, Akil Vespri, Tevin Panta, Darian Hernandez, Zachary Sicharan, and Jabari Forbes, the coach, Travis Mulrain. Let's look at their formation.
Well, it's a 4-3-3 formation. Expect Pascal and Rajun to sit. Cooper leads the line in the back, an experienced campaigner, of course, having a stint with Club Sando during the Caribbean Club Championship, recently concluded one. Of course, Panto up front, and Vespri, the national under-17 player. He has experience, he has the guile, and he has, of course, the potential to be a match winner here for Naparima College.
Well, it's going to be St. Mary's taking the kickoff here, and they're kicking towards the north, or towards the Father Jerry Panton Pavilion, to those of you who know St. Mary's ground. And whereas they will be kicking the south, towards the Father Jerry Panton Pavilion, and Naparima will be kicking to south. But here we go, as Naparima coming up against St. Mary's College, both big winners in the opening round, as immediately going forward with it there is Pascal, and finding Sicharan. Sicharan has to go backwards to Hills, playing that ball wide, looking for Vespri. Vespri coming in field with it, and he has to go all the way back to Hernandez. He's looking wide. On the right side is Forbes making that run, going up the left is the fullback Bailey trying to get the cross in, but still Naparima holding possession, and eventually St. Mary's get it downfield. It's a foot race here, but getting there first is Hernandez, and he's going to play it out for St. Mary's throw. So Naparima, Jordan, taking the early initiative, trying to put St. Mary's under some pressure.
Yeah, definitely. They string some passes together. They're first to the ball thus far, and they're able to build through the midfield and the wider areas.
Well, Sicharan playing that ball wide to Forbes looking to play it infield. This could be problems here for St. Mary's, but the shot couldn't get away. The shot was Panto, and eventually the shot does come from Vespri, but the angle was pretty bad, and was easy pickings for goalkeeper Doyle. But here is Humphrey. Long searching ball there, trying to get Wong going. Eventually it settles. A little bit of pushing, but referee Crystal Sabers sees nothing wrong with it, but they give it away to Forbes. Coming up that right side is Bailey, but Forbes decides to go back in field, getting it to Rajun. He's going wide, back to Bailey. The fullback, looking to come in field with it, back to Rajun. Rajun is going to play it in field as Naparima trying to build something here, trying to at least keep possession, but they give it away. But it's won back by Hernandez, and here comes Naparima again. This time, the man coming forward with it there was Bailey, who was gone way over onto that left side, the right back, and now sends it towards Forbes. He's going to take control of it. Being confronted there by Morris. Still Forbes in possession. Morris is with him. Forbes getting it to Rajun going up that right side, gets to the byline, sends it in field, and it's cleared away, but still danger lurking for St. Mary's College here. Good bit of movement from Naparima.
Yeah, there's a lot of comfort in their possession, and the way they, of course, try to play from left to right side. Good interplay as we see here again, and they've certainly started.
There's a problem here. This could be. They have a good tackle in the end. And the referee Sober's now blowing the whistle. But a little bit of a bounce there that Pascal misread. And
it was a good saving tackle at the end.
Yeah.
Now, I was about to mention, of course, the way that Naparima started, as we have another look at it here. That's a good challenge, because it clearly looked like Rajun was about to pull the trigger. It's a poor kick, though. Yeah,
so here comes Naparima again. St. Mary's causing all sort of problems for themselves. As Morris is going to get there first and coming away with it. Plays a good ball down the line there to Radelant playing it back towards Morris. Making the run, but going down that left side and making the run was skipper Kyle Phillip, but the ball went out of play. So St. Mary's haven't settled this yet.
Yeah, Naparima, they done all the early running. They're able to possess the ball well. They change the ball from left side to right side. Rajun, he's definitely been the key for them. Changing the ball, switching sides, and their wide play has been very impressive, Colin.
Yeah, it has been. And That man Forbes has created all sorts of problems, and he wins a corner. So the first corner of the game goes to Naparima. And we've been playing now for just over 4 minutes. And it has all been Naparima so far. They've put real pressure on St. Mary's defense. Goalkeeper Doyle hasn't had very much to do. Had a shot from distance, but then certainly Rajun was bearing in on goal, and a good tackle coming in from Pascal and saved the blushes of Doyle. But here is the corner. It's not a bad one, but the heads go up. Eventually, the shot comes there, but seemed to have taken a deflection, but went into the arms of goalkeeper Doyle. Looking to get Philip going. Kyle Philip hasn't seen very much of the ball so far in the opening 5 minutes of this game. Again, trying to play it to him. But it goes to Cooper. He has to go all the way back to goalkeeper Romain. Back to Cooper. Plays a good ball. This is good from Naparima. The ball goes out to Bailey. Forbes. Rajun.
Quite comfortable on the ball, Naparima. They're able to string their passes together, moving the ball from side to side, and the wing backs are getting it out.
Bailey, that's a good ball. Good. Offside.
So the wing back there, Bailey, he's definitely coming down the right side. He's overlapping and adding a lot of pressure, getting a good cross across. But of course, the man had straight into an offside position there. That was Vespri.
Yep, Vespri went into an offside position, and immediately the assistant referee flag went up to indicate the same. So a free kick for St. Mary's. One really getting control of it now. This is Rajun. Forbes gone into inside right position. Going up on that left side is Hills.
So the wing backs getting quite deep.
Both of them.
Yeah.
But here goes Pascal. Has a shot, but wide of the mark. So they're also looking to take shots, which is good. Once they get in range, Brent, they're looking to have shots. That was Pascal.
Yeah, they're looking to have shots. They're trying to get balls across the box, but I think from a Travis Moraine perspective, you'd be disappointed that they really haven't tested the gloves of goalkeeper Doyle in goal for St. Mary's College. It's been good build-up play so far, but the execution in the final third have let them down just a little bit. It's certainly inspiring stuff from the boys from South Trinidad. The question is, gentlemen, can they now start to use that and that platform and build and try to get shots on targets and maybe even the odd goal?
Well, here's Radellan going down that left side for St. Mary's. Looks to get Philip going. That's a really good tackle coming in from Hernandez. So it's going to be a throw for St. Mary's. But there we saw Radellan, Ryan Radellan, having some room going down the left side. There is the St. Mary's bench with Kona Hislop, a former St. Mary's standout. As that cross ball up goes Philip with the head, but goes straight to goalkeeper Romain. And he's bowling it out towards Vespri. Vespri coming in field with it. Plays it into Pascal. Pascal back to Vespri. Plays that ball wide, and going up that left side in an advanced position was was Hills for Naparima, but it was played just too far ahead of him. But there we see again the fullbacks getting beyond those wide midfielders.
Yeah, they're coming inside and creating that extra room on the outside, and you're seeing Hills on one side and Bailey on the other. Really buccaneering wingbacks thus far.
Well, here is Philip trying to get a ball down that right side towards Wong. It's picked up by Cooper. He gets it. Oh, this is disaster, and he's missed it. My word, Philip has missed it, but that was disaster. The ball was played back to goalkeeper Romain. He his control was bad. And Brent, we haven't talked about the surface here, but let's have a look at this.
Yeah, now it's a good time to talk about the surface. Take a little bit of a bump. As you could see, the ball is not coming straight through. I think Romain could have done a lot better, and he's a very lucky boy because
He got a
challenge he made eventually on Phillips may have thrown him out, of course, and that deflection would have led for a corner, but it should have been 1-0 to CIC.
Should have been 1-0, but here is the corner, and you have to say probably one of the first real attacks, and that's a good corner. The keeper goes up, doesn't make contact, and eventually Vespri trying to get rid of it, and he's fouled, so it's going to be a free kick for Naparima. But you have to say that Naparima, they really should have been one down.
Yeah, and it's normally a nice lush green surface here at Serpentine Road. Today we see there's a bit of course, unevenness in the surface, and it is bumpy, particularly on the sides. There's a bit of patch of dirt in some areas of the field. And of course, you have to mention the fact that it's extremely hot here in Trinidad, so the ground is very, very firm. And you combine all of that, gentlemen, and of course, I think originally it gave keeper Romain a bit of trouble coming back, but I think also his decision making was poor because he tried to drag the ball across unnecessarily.
I think they're watching too much of European football, Brent, where the goalkeepers now play like a sweeper. And up to this morning, I was looking at a game with
Manchester United,
and then Allison in goal for Liverpool as well. You know, they're so comfortable on the ball.
You have to be. You have to be, because building out of the back is a key part and component for teams, and your goalkeeper has to be one part of that assignment to build out of the back. So he has to be good on his feet. But mind you, these kids have to understand you have to be very sure in what you're doing and make your mind up quite quickly. That goes to goalkeepers, and I think in Romain's situation, he didn't. He tried to improvise, and I think that's what got him into a bit of problems.
Well, again, we saw Naparima coming up that right side with a cross ball from Bailey, and Panto couldn't really get the volley in. It was more of a, not a shot, but he sort of passed it to goalkeeper Doyle, who in the end had a comfortable save. But here is Panto on the ball now, gets it in field. This is June. Wide is Forbes. This is a good run from Forbes. This could be problems again. He has to turn back, looking for some support. Gets it in field. Can the shot come? And still, St. Mary's just can't get the ball away.
A hard ball there.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a pinball in the box, and St. Mary's were looking uncomfortable a little for a while. But here is Vespri. But he gives it away, and respite a little bit here now for St. Mary's. But Naparima will come again. This is Forbes. Rajun.
Being able to build that ball, Colin, possess the ball well. They're making a lot of passes, good preparation thus far. And just when he said that, the commentators curse. Oh, he's been able to keep it in play.
Yes, he is. Bailey is keep giving it to Forbes. Forbes looking to play it in field towards that's not Rajun. That is Sicharan. And eventually the ball goes out of play. It's going to be a throw for St. Mary's.
Well, they've seen a lot of possession, particularly as Gordon mentioned, in the middle of the park with this man on the ball, Rajun, and Pascal dominating the middle of the park. But I think when they get further forward, that's where the imagination need to step in, and that's what's been able to unhinge them so far. There's a lot of light blue and white shirts, striped shirts in that area, so you have to be a little bit more innovative to break that St. Mary's defense down, and they haven't been able to do that so far.
Well, here is Vespri, the ball coming off of him, and it's going to be a throw for St. Mary's. Still no goals here. We've been playing for just about 13 and a half minutes at the St. Mary's ground, and the home team, who probably had the best chance of the game, it's still St. Mary's 0, Naparima 0. It's going to be a throw for St. Mary's.
I think we need a moment of magic here from either Vespri or Panto on the Naparima side, or Kyle Phillip and Redolont on St. Mary's side to really set this one afire, Colin.
Yes, you need some bit of magic, I tell you though, but Naparima, they're knocking on the door I think they're knocking on the door more than St. Mary's, even though St. Mary's had the best chance to go ahead. But here, as we talk, it's at Kyle Phillip on the ball, plays up a nice-looking ball here towards Morris. He gets it to Radaland. Radaland playing it in field, trying to get it across towards Phillip, but it's cleared away. But St. Mary's trying to regain possession. As not too sure if that was a shot, but it certainly took a deflection. As that ball was hit by McLeod. So this is Bailey. Forbes. Rajoon. Forbes. Taking control of the situation again. This is Cooper. That's a good run, and that's a pretty decent ball. And cleared away by Humphrey. So it's going to be a throw for Naparima.
Yeah, Humphrey, he's going to have his hands full there, as we see his father in the crowd there. Humphrey, he's been under pressure by...
yeah, and he's also part of the SportsMax crew.
Yes, definitely.
Our soldier. Here is Cooper. I thought he was going to have a crack. Sends the ball across, but it's overhit. Forbes is going to get there, though. He's going to keep it in. Forbes. Playing it in towards Rajoon. He's looking for the shot. Again, a good block and cleared downfield, looking for Kyle Phillip. This is Radaland. Radaland going forward with it. Trying to get it to McLeod. The keeper comes, does well, plays it out, and it's going to be a throw for St. Mary's. They seem to have some room coming down this left side at times with Radaland, Ryan Radaland. And they've been getting the room, but of course inside there's only Kyle Phillip. He's the lone man coming forward to aim for. So they've been having the problems. I think when they come for, let's have a look. The keeper came there and got there just before Phillip.
Surprised he didn't come with his hands. From a safety perspective and of course an efficiency perspective, it would have been better served come with his hands. And that's one of the things that they tell you to do as a goalkeeper, to make sure you get there. They have the advantage of utilizing their hands, and if he was to come out sliding and collect the ball, it would have avoided that sort of collision. But yes, and Mary seems to be quite happy in transition and trying to get, as you said, Radaland and the likes of Phillips into those situations, particularly along this left-hand side.
Well, here is the throw. Nice long one into the box, and it's headed out. It's going to be a corner, a left-sided corner for St. Mary's. So it's going to be their second corner of the game.
Yeah, so they're getting closer here. They're into the Naparima half of things. One of the few times that they have been. And the big guys from the back, they've come forward. They've loaded the box as they try to get their team on the scorecard.
Well, here is the corner. Another good one. The keeper comes. Not sure he got there. And again, no communication because he was coming out for it. And it was headed away by Sicharan. So it's going to be a throw for St. Mary's.
Well, it's the second time he's come for it and got nothing.
It's been some useful corner. That's the second corner for St. Mary's, and both have been pretty good, Brent.
Yeah, well, I think also the goalkeeper's timing, Romain, it's a bit off. When you come in for that ball,
there's the shot from McLeod.
Side, you have to be decisive, and I think he's not decisive enough in his approach to the ball and finding himself in some very awkward situations, because as we know, as a goalkeeper, as we have another look at it here, this shot from outside, good left-footed shot. Romain obviously covering it well. Good shot by McLeod. But as a goalkeeper, when you come for it, you have to be decisive, because if you don't, you leave an empty net behind you.
Well, this time it's a right-sided corner. It's going to be taken with a left boot. Is it Cooper? It seems to be Cooper, the one going to take the corner.
It's going to be Cooper.
Yep, and with his left boot, goes to the far post, but no one is there. Radaland has to go after it. He keeps it in, but then he gives it away. And this is Aguilera Nunes playing it back inside, and Phillip goes for the the fancy footwork, doesn't make contact, and eventually it's cleared upfield. But suddenly there's some pressure being applied to this Naparima defense by St. Mary's.
Yeah, good spell here for the St. Mary's College boys. They've absorbed lots and lots of pressure, and they're now looking to hit back and doing quite well. In fact, their keeper has made more saves. The Naparima keeper has made more saves than the St. Mary's keeper thus far in the game.
Well, there is some of the supporters here at the ground looking on. Normally you would get a lot of the former schoolboys and some former players coming out. Here's Forbes. Bailey, as usual, going up the right side. He decides to go infield towards Sicharan. Gets it to Hills. Oh, he's having a crack from distance.
Very ambitious shot by Hills there.
Well, he had some room in front of him, so he must have figured why not. But you're right, very ambitious.
Yes, we see some fans there again. This the Secretary of the North Zone.
I think from a St. Mary's College perspective, they'd be quite happy. Certainly the game started with Naparima College playing on the front foot, dominating the middle of the park and looking the more dangerous. But as we have mentioned on a couple of occasions, really the biggest danger so far has been at the other end, at the Naparima College end.
Yeah, the thing is, Naparima have kept possession and they're knocking the ball around nicely. But up front...
You have to execute.
Yeah,
you have to, and,
that's right.
You have to be a little bit more intricate. And I think when they get into these sorts of areas, again, they start turning back and being negative in their approach.
And now they're shooting from distance.
Yeah.
And
Coach Moraine would be concerned because that's where you want to play wall passes. That's where you want to show a bit of creativity. And we just haven't seen that from a Naparima College perspective. Not suggesting that they don't have it. It just seems like they're not utilizing it when they get into that stage.
Well, Morris going down the left side. Couldn't keep it in, but there was a deflection. So St. Mary's have the through.
Morris is going to take the throw.
Oh, that's a bit of a high boot, but referee Sobers...
No call from
referee Sobers felt it was legitimate. So headed away towards Forbes. Gets it in field to Rajun. That's a good ball. As Vespri coming in field with it now. Looks to change the direction of attack. Gets it to Forbes. He actually gets the rebound. It's now with Rajun. Bailey. Goes back in field to Rajun. He's looking for some support. Has to go all the way back to Cooper.
It's just been here in this part of the field that Naparima has lost their way. Definitely a lot of square and back passes.
Yeah, well, this is Pascal trying to play it through, but goalkeeper Doyle is going to come and claim that. Yeah, and that's where they're knocking it good until they reach the attack in third, and then they're not sure what to do from there. This is a team who scored 10 goals in the last game.
Yeah, definitely something, a bit of a surprise.
Well, here goes Philip. Another big chance for St. Mary's. Can he score? Oh, my word. What did he do? As he was about to pull the trigger, it seemed that he slid over the top of the ball. His boot seemed to go over the top of the ball. But what another huge chance for St. Mary's. But here comes Forbes for Naparima.
Yeah, I think he just was in many minds. It wasn't 2 minds, it was about 4 minds he had. He wanted to go past the keeper, he wanted to slot it past the keeper, and then he wanted to shoot all at the same time.
So Gordon, you're saying he was in about 4 minds, but he chose the 5th one.
Yes,
because he did absolutely nothing. But here is St. Mary's with Radalant. Bailey is on his back, and eventually he plays it downfield, looking to get it towards Cooper. It's with Philip. My word, he's had 2 huge chances. This is Radalant. He's got some real room going down that left side. He's been able to create a lot of space for himself. He's coming in field with it now. Does well, does very well. Gets the crossover, but it's going to be cleared by Rajun. St. Mary's definitely, you have to think that they are into this game now. Yes, they're defending, but when they come forward, they're putting Naparima under some real pressure.
Yeah, definitely. I think the coach, Mr. Michael Grayson, he'll be happy with what has happened thus far. He's absorbed pressure. They've been compact because although Naparima has dominated the possession, they haven't really had any real opportunities at goal. And they've had the more clear-cut opportunities thus far. And I think Kyle Phillip, he'll be wanting back either one of those chances to put his team up.
Let's have a look at it here.
Well, he's gotten away here. And just about here is where you make a decision. He took that extra touch, and I think that is what let him down, and eventually got completely crossed off with the timing of it, and eventually missed the ball. You would not believe, but between these two teams, they would have scored 18 goals
18
in
goals.
the first round of game.
And they've probably missed about 5 sitters. Here is Radaland. He's had a good game. Has the shot. Well saved by the keeper. He's been, to me, one of the better players for St. Mary's.
Yeah, he's found room on this left side and he's used it well. He's won almost all his one-on-one defense, his personal battles, and he's definitely helped his team going forward.
Here is Naparima. This could be a chance. This is Vespri, but he's offside.
No, I thought he was on. If you look at the closest player on this side, the wing-back for St. Mary's College, of course, the linesmen don't have the advantage that we have of course, various views as we have a look at Greason and the St. Mary's College bench. But certainly when that ball was played, it looked like he was still onside because of the player closest to the linesman.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of a water break now because, it's so hot these days. And Trinidad and Tobago as well is on yellow alert, guys. So I'm not surprised. To play football in this kind of heat, it's certainly not easy, and I don't care how young you are. It really saps all your energy. But let's have a look at some of the highlights so far, and when you see these highlights, you really can't believe that it's 0-0.
Yeah, that was Vespri there with the first chance of the match. Easily handled, and then this one.
Oh, my word. Kyle Phillips, he would be having nightmares right now. Forget about half-time.
Yeah, that was the keeper making a meal of that one. And then a good opportunity here.
Good save.
Yeah, good save as well from the keeper there. And this one.
Oh, my.
If the first one was easy, this one was even easier.
He should have really put it away. He did everything right. And then this shot coming from Radaland. Good shot.
Yeah, well, I think he has been the shining star for the St. Mary's team. He's definitely got a lot of room up this left side because, of course, Jaquan Bailey, he's been overlapping a lot and has just been leaving that space that Ryan has been using getting down this left side. He's isolated himself well.
And what has been good as well, the St. Mary's players, they've been able to find him. They've been playing a lot of balls over the top that he's been able to run onto. And I think his positional play is good. The problem is when he picks up the ball, he looks inside. There's very little except Kyle Phillip.
Yeah, and I think when you look at it from a St. Mary's College perspective, of course, we talked about the lion's share of possession going to Naparima College, but the better chances going to St. Mary's. And the type of chances that they would have had so far, you would suggest that they should have been at least 2 goals up. And when you're playing against a team like Naparima College that scored, of course, 10 goals in their last fixture, you have to think to yourself, at some point, they're going to find their goal-scoring touch. And you would want to believe that the chances that St. Mary's College would have missed so far may come back to haunt them.
Yeah, definitely. You know, when you're kicking from the northern side to the southern side, there's also a slide downhill. There's also the wind factor here at the St. Mary's College ground. So you want to score your goals when you're kicking to that end.
Let's don't forget as well the Kenya Francis, who had a hat-trick, is on the bench.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Lots of firepower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who knows? You would expect somewhere, if they don't score, he's going to get an opportunity. But the players are just about getting back into their respective positions.
Yeah, and I think though Coach Michael Grayson of St. Mary's College, he'll be the happier of the two coaches. Travis Moraine, he will definitely think that his team didn't give him enough in the first half of the first half.
Yeah, they have not. They've played well up to the attacking area, up to the attacking third, and they just seem that are lost after there. I mean, you look at Forbes going wide on the right, Bailey, the man on the ball now, Rajun, they've all been playing pretty well, but just the finishing touch, they seem to be lacking.
Well, a lot of the football they've played has been right in front of the St. Mary's back five. They haven't really threatened behind and tried to turn the defenders around. And I'm quite sure that's something that Travis Moraine would want from his charges.
Well, here goes Forbes, being harassed there by Aguilera Nunes. Gets it back to Cicharan. And eventually it's played out, and it's going to be a throw for Naparima. Still, no goals here. Coming up to the half an hour.
For that water break, what would you have told your team had you been coach Travis Moraine, Brent?
I think it's focusing and, of course, trying to be a little bit more innovative in the attacking third.
There's Vespri, not a good one, goes over the bar.
And those sorts of situations, as we just saw, snatching at it, kicking the ball over, I think they need a little bit more composure. And of course, as I said, I use the word imagination when they get into that final third. For sure, they were seeing from a St. Mary's College perspective, there's at least 5 to 7 blue and white shirts in front of them. It's how do you break them down? What do you do to get in behind them? And that has been the Achilles heel for Naparima College so far.
I think you're completely right, Brent, in terms of composure. I think they just they seem to be just hustling, rather than taking their time. They all here, they're doing very well. They're knocking the ball around nice, but as they get into that attacking third, they all of a sudden, everybody seems to be in a bit of a hurry. Forbes being harassed there by Morris. That gets the better of Morris and Calendar. That's a good ball to Bailey. Sends it across, but it's blocked by Calendar. Eventually, Morris trying to clear it. Goes to McLeod. Still, the shot comes, and the save there from Doyle. And eventually, it's going to be a free kick for St. Mary's.
A very good save there. It's what we'll call a regulation save, but he had to get there, and he showed strong pair of hands to push it clear of the danger zone. Here we see it again.
Yep, a pretty good save. So Morris sending it downfield, but it's going to be a throw for Naparima. Still no goals here at the St. Mary's ground between St. Mary's, the home team, St. Mary's College, and Naparima College.
Yeah, after the water break, they've started the way the game has started, with Naparima on the front foot. St. Mary's looking to strike on the counter.
Here goes Rajun. Gets it up to Forbes. Plays it across. This is Cicharan. Flicks it out, but really gets it to no one except to Cooper. He plays it down to Philip. Philip being robbed of it. Sent right back upfield as Naparima trying to come forward again with it. And this time, it's that man, Panto. He goes wide to Forbes. This is Rajun. Twisting, turning with it, looking around, trying to get some support. This is played through. This is a chance. Oh, that's a save. Good save. Well. Yet another very good chance for Naparima, and they're not able to put it away. Here's Hills with the ball, sent high across. It goes out. It's going to be a goal kick for St. Mary's.
Well, for the first time, we've seen them use their imagination. 1-2, good combination play, getting in behind. And as we've mentioned before, that's what you have to do to get in behind the St. Mary's rear guard. There's a lot of shirts in there. And if you're not creative, you're not going to do it. In that instance, they were very creative. And probably should have scored.
Yep,
that's
good save by Doyle, but I think you really have to say that they missed a chance. Here's Rajun.
Seemed to as the number 4, that's Kalinda, Mali Kalinda for St. Mary's College. He seems to be laboring, crying some sort of injury. He's put his body in the line on 2 occasions for his team.
Here is Rajun. Forbes. Looking to make that run going forward was Panto, and it's cleared up field, so it's going to be a throw for Naparima. Bailey is going to take it. It's got Forbes up in support, so too is Panto. Decides to go back to Rajun.
Rajun has been very good for his team. He's definitely bossed the midfield. He's been coming for the ball. He's been preparing the ball well. He's been switching the ball from side to side. He's always an option for his defense. Pascal able to win out and play it wider to Bailey.
Yep, here's Bailey looking for Forbes, who's made that forward run. Forbes still in possession, looking to get a return ball from Bailey, and eventually Calendar is there, sends it downfield, and Radalant didn't control it all that well, but he's kept it in play. And again, he has that room to go down the left side, gets it to Phillip, plays it back here. This is McLeod. Does well, does very well. That's a strong challenge. I think that's going to be a card. Yep, it is. The first card of the afternoon, and it goes to young Darian Hernandez.
He's been tougher. He's been a strong defender, but they're just coming in a bit late. Look at it.
Yeah, he was very late, and I think that was a worthy yellow card.
I think once he committed to the challenge, there was no stopping his momentum. I don't think it was malicious in any way or form. I just think it was very much mistimed.
And Gordon, you realize you hear that from a defender.
Yes, of course.
A centre-back. They always pick up for one another.
It's called a reasonable explanation for the yellow card.
Oh, that's what it's called? Okay. A reasonable explanation for the yellow card. Here is Naparima again looking to go forward, but it's well won by St. Mary's as the ball is with Morris. Looking for Phillip. Eventually, Rajun sends it upfield. Bailey, but he can't keep it in. So it's going to be a throw for St. Mary's.
Panto leading the attack for Naparima. He just hasn't shown that extra bit of quality. You know, when he picks up the ball, he just seemed to give Kalinda a chance to bite at it.
But here goes Phillip, trying to get that ball wide out there to Wong. He does well to keep it in. He's looking to go past his man. He does well. Sends it in field. Can't reach Phillip. The idea was good. He was going to cut it back towards Phillip, but just couldn't reach the target. Sent right back downfield. Cooper plays it nicely towards Hills. So there is the possession at the moment. Naparima, as expected, 56%, 43% to St. Mary's, and the pass completion 71% to 56. But the real statistic is still, we yet to get a goal here at St. Mary's ground. And we're coming up to what, 36 and a half minutes. The ball sent over towards Radalant. Radalant looking to take on his man, comes in field with it. He's looking for the shot. That's a beauty. That's a beauty. Oh my word. Ryan Radalant, he has threatened all afternoon. He's been getting the space down the left side. He's been cutting inside. Here again, he cut inside and went to the far corner. Oh my word, he picked the net beautifully. St. Mary's, they take the lead in minute number 38.
Ratatata, ratatata. They are singing here at the St. Mary's College ground. Ryan Radalant, he definitely won all of his personal battles in this match. They are going past to key it up. A shot into the top corner. What a goal, and definitely a goal that is worthy to separate these two teams at this moment, Brent.
Of course, scoring a hat-trick in his first game for St. Mary's College in their earlier wrong encounter. Radalant when they beat Pleasantville Secondary. But what I liked about the goal, gentlemen, is his composure. We talked about it all day long as to what has been the Achilles heel for Naparima's College, but certainly from a Radalant perspective and CIC perspective, he showed none of that. He cut inside, and with that cultivated right foot of his, was able to pick. It's a very difficult skill, obviously, to try to bend it around two defenders, and gave the goalkeeper no chance in goal.
He knew exactly what he wanted to do.
Exactly where he wanted to put the ball. And you have to give him credit for that. He showed glimpses of it leading up to this particular goal. He had one or two instances where he tried to cut in and shoot.
And he also forced a save from the keeper earlier on.
Yeah.
He was definitely the best player on the pitch for his team. He's been getting some room here and winning that battle between himself and Bailey.
Well, you have to wonder from a Naparima College perspective, especially from a defensive perspective, you have to have cover. And once he travelled inside, there was no Hernandez, there's no Cooper, there's no support in midfield. And of course, that really allowed him all the chance in the world to get his opportunity to actually bend the ball in. I'm just amazed, gentlemen, how much time he had to do that. Where was the covering defenders? We look at Arjun and Pascal, they look like they're playing on a similar line midfield-wise. Who's doing the covering for them defensively? And that has been the problem. As we mentioned, a lot of the joy is coming on this left-hand side, or their right-hand side, Jaquan Bailey's side, because he's getting advanced, but no one is really covering for him. And we saw that when he was isolated there with Radelant. And you don't want to give Radelant those sorts of opportunities. There needs to be cover.
But take nothing away from the attacker there. The defenders, they would have not taken up their duties, but it was a beautiful taken goal. Colin.
Well, here is Cicheran looking to go wide. Ball looking to be played back by Panto, trying to get Rajun going. But this is Rajun finally getting possession. That's an aimless ball, really, just hit high in hope. And there is Morris. He heads it out. It's going to be a throw for Naparima. Coming up to minute number 40. So Naparima just having 5 minutes in which to try and get an equalizer before the half. And St. Mary's, on the other hand, they would want to keep them. They would want to go in with a lead. And, it's going to be a free kick for St. Mary's. May have been a little bit of a handle ball by Panto. So it's going to be a free kick. Morris, Isaiah Morris.
Panto, he's been industrious for Naparima, but he's not been creative.
This is Philip trying to go down that left side again with Radelant. So it's through this time, going the other way. Here is Forbes. Goes all the way back towards Cooper. Starts to move forward with it. But it's won back here by Wong. Trying to get McLeod going, but it's hit a little too far ahead of him. And that's good covering on the part of Cooper.
What we're seeing, though, is that the St. Mary's College team, they're changing their formation slightly. You're seeing Cooper, the number 20, getting in a bit more advanced position.
Well, here goes Naparima, looking to come forward with it. Oh, this is a good run. Is he going to take the shot? He bet your life he does. Oh, what a goal!
Pascal,
what a beautiful goal there by Jaron Pascal. I was wondering if he was going to hit it. He traveled with it, and they weren't closing him down quickly enough. He went for that far corner, and the goalkeeper Doyle was diving to his left, couldn't come up with it. And Naparima, they are back on level terms after 42 minutes.
Well, we utilized the word composure throughout this broadcast, and that's composure for you. Pascal, very rarely you see a goal from outside the box used, of course, inside of the foot, and that's exactly what he did. He guided it into the back of the net, didn't snatch at it, and didn't try to hit a wild shot. He just composed himself and make sure he placed it in a position where Boyce had absolutely no choice. Well, Doyle, in goal, had no chance in getting to it. And again, for the first time, from an attacking perspective, we saw a little bit of composure from Naparima College, and now they're back into it.
That's right. But two well-taken goals.
Yeah, one good goal deserved another. So definitely two very good goals in a very good competition thus far.
Well, it's sent upfield, but this is Aguilera Nunes winning it, and but Naparima, they regain possession. So this is going forward with it is Forbes, does very well indeed. Oh, he does well. He still has possession. Gets it over onto the far side. This is Vespri, and he has the shot. Takes a deflection, but oh, he's offside. I was about to say that the ball ran towards Forbes, but he was in an offside position, and the assistant referee flags has gone up to indicate it's going to be a free kick for St. Mary's. Coming up to what? 43.5 minutes. We understand that there's going to be 3 minutes of added on time.
Yeah, we see the bench there. Anthony Sherrod on the Naparima bench. Very animated. he would be thinking that Vespri should have done a whole lot better there.
Well, particularly a man of such good attacking talent. Anthony Sherwood, that is.
Yeah, Anthony Sherwood.
He's probably
one of the standouts.
Yeah, one
Presentation
of the
College.
Presentation College,
Yeah.
of course.
Youth World Cup as well.
He's probably looking at it and wishing that he could roll back the hands of time. Because I'm sure in some of the positions that the Naparima College attacking players have found themselves, I'm sure if Anthony Sherwood was in those similar positions,
he would have had a hat-trick
he
already.
would have probably had a hat-trick, you're correct.
Well, here is Pascal going forward with it. The man who scored the goal sends a ball over on the far side for Vespri. But Vespri, he does well. He's looking to tee up somebody. He still has possession. Oh, does he find the net? Yes, he does.
A moment of brilliance by young Akil Vespri. He got the better of Humphrey first. No call by the referee. He continued to fight. He turned left, right, and then he just poked it past Doyle to put his team up 2-1 on the stroke of halftime.
Well, in the space of 3 minutes, they've scored 2 goals and they've turned the game around. Naparima.
Well, again, another first for Naparima College. A direct ball over the top. We haven't seen that for much of the half. Behind the defender, Humphrey, and Vespri did ever so well.
Still down on the ground.
Well, I'm wondering if over-celebration may have caused his injury. As we see it here, there's a tussle there. Of course, debates on whether or not that was a foul. But look at this for a good bit of skill. Good footwork, cuts inside of his man, and pokes it past Doyle, never stretching Doyle. Look at it here, coming inside, cutting inside, being very clever, and at that range, didn't really give Doyle much of an opportunity to react to the toe poke.
Look at the celebration, it may have cost him.
And maybe the celebration may have cost him the rest of the half. I'm sure he wouldn't mind if they went on to win 2-1. But again, he's been seen to... but again, gentlemen, another first. Naparima College been a bit more direct, going over the top and finding some joy there. And as much as they would have, of course, had the lion's share of possession, you would think that the 2 goals came from situations that we did not see throughout the 45-plus minutes or so. That was one of a ball being over the top and a bit of interplay for the first one.
Yeah, certainly. Well, just about getting ready to restart. We are into added on time now. As St. Mary's, they have it all to do now. They're trailing by 2-1 after taking the lead. They've gone 2-1 down. And these 2 goals coming in the space of 3 minutes seem to have woken up Naparima.
It's definitely silenced the St. Mary's crowd here.
That's for sure.
You're not hearing the buzz, you're not feeling the energy.
Oh, you're not hearing the Razataza anymore,
no,
Gordon?
The Razataza has definitely not been humming here at the Serpentine Road ground.
Well, here goes Humphrey, playing that ball forward to... This is a good ball in field to Aguilera Nunes. He's looking for the man going forward. There is, let's see, that is Wong going forward. But it's cleared up field. Forbes does well, plays it in field towards Rajun. Rajun playing that ball over the top by Pascal to Forbes. Forbes gets it to Rajun. Eventually it's played out. It's going to be a throw for Naparima. So we've got just about 2 minutes of the 3 minutes played thus far. And with the injury to Vespri, we're not sure if referee Sobers may add a minute or so onto the added on time. We'll wait and see. She very well may not. And she, in fact, blows the whistle here now to indicate that it's half-time here at the St. Mary's ground. And the home team, they are trailing at the moment by 2-1. They opened the scoring in minute 38 through Ryan Radelant. He scored a beauty, cutting inside and hitting it with that right foot in the top corner. But in the 42nd minute, Jaron Pascal, he responded to make it 1-1. And then on the stroke of half-time, Akil Vespri made it 2-1 for Naparima. So they are going to go in after having gone behind. They are going to go in, the much happier of the teams here, as the Naparima College, they lead here at halftime by those 2-1. Pascal and Vespri, the scorers, and for St. Mary's, it's Radelant. So we're going to take a break and then come back here at the St. Mary's College grounds. Welcome back here to the St. Mary's College ground. The home team, they are trailing at the moment by 2-1 against Naparima College. It's been a pretty good first half, lots of chances, and coming down to the end, from minute 38, the goals started to come in. Let's have a look at the highlights. Referee Crystal Sobers getting the kickoff going, and Naparima had the first effort, and then a shot coming by McLeod, or that was but then Philip had a wonderful opportunity, the skipper of St. Mary's, and he managed not to put that into the back of the net, and he should have put it away. But then Ryan Radaland had a shot at the first post. He was having a lot of room on that left side, had the shot, and it was parried. Then it was the turn of Naparima, shot going, and goalkeeper Doyle had to be at his best, and again using his feet to save that one, and then a last tackle from Calendar saved it. And then the ball played wide out to Radaland teasing his team, his opposition, and then hitting it into the top corner. What a good goal. He went past two defenders and he banged it into the top corner to make it St. Mary's 1, Naparima 0. And that seemed to awaken the Naparima team, because they started to take the attack to St. Mary's, and Pascal from outside the box had a wonderful shot. He used the inside of the foot and just put it to the left of goalkeeper Doyle to make it 1 goal all. And when we thought that we would be going in pretty even at the halftime, Akil Vespri had different ideas. He went past one defender, he went past another, and then he poked it past the keeper into the far corner to make it Naparima 2, St. Mary's 1. So that was the situation at the halftime, the celebration from Vespri. Let's have a look at the stats as we look at the shots. 9 shots from Naparima as opposed 6 to St. Mary's. Shots on target 5-4 in favor of Naparima. Fouls 4-1. 1 yellow card for Naparima. There were no red cards, 3 offsides for Naps, 3 corners for St. Mary's, 1 to Naparima, 3 saves each by both keepers. Possession, 54% Naparima, 46% for St. Mary's. But to the top, that's the most important stat. Naparima 2, St. Mary's 1. Well, we're going to head down to Brent and Gordon for a halftime analysis.
Well, thank you very much, Colin. Of course, an intriguing half of football, Gordon, so far. 1-1 the scoreline. We've seen 2 outstanding goals by both teams so far. More importantly, from a football perspective and what has happened in the game, Naparima College, of course, the lion's share of possession, but St. Mary's College playing in transition.
Yeah, well, I think Coach Michael Grayson, he'll be happy with what happened early on, not coming to the end, that final 5 minutes there where they lost the lead and went down in goals. But he would have been holding, looking to hit on the counter, and of course his two attacking prowess in Philip and Ryan Rodolent, doing just exactly what he wanted to be done, getting that goal, the opening goal. But of course, Naparima, they came back and they got 2 goals to put themselves up, and they go into the halftime the better of the two teams.
Well, of course, when you talk about the possession from Naparima College, it was good for them. The lion's share of charges went to St. Mary's College, and some quality saves at the back at the end from the custodian from Naparima College. Good play overall from both teams. But of course, Doyle here in goal for St. Mary's College, and a good save there again from Naparima. I think when you look at it from a grand scheme of things, you rightfully said Michael Grayson will be happy, because at the end of the day, in the first 15 minutes or so, Naparima College was the better of the two teams. They possessed well. We talked about the lack of execution in the final third. They weren't able to create those clear-cut opportunities that was needed for them to go ahead. But St. Mary's College did well in the counter-attack. Radelant, of course, being a danger throughout the game, and Phillips up front. Radelant in particular scoring that outstanding goal, cutting inside and being able to curl it around. But when you look at it from a Naparima perspective and getting back into the game, particularly at the end, they did 2 things they haven't been able to do throughout the game, which is showing some composure. Of course, Pascal, first of all, guiding the ball into the goal, as we have another look at that Radelant scorcher that went into the back of the net, and Naparima really came to life afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. It was pulling the lion's tail, really. And the Naparima College, they came to life and they responded in kind. They go to the half on a high, but I think Michael Grayson, he has to settle along the guys, and he will want to come out and hold the team, the Naparima team, early in the second half, and they'll try to get back into it in front of this massive St. Mary's College ground.
Well, as we have a look at Pascal's fine finish, a lot of composure, passing it into the back of the net, not necessarily using his laces. And in this occasion here, Vaspre able to take on his man and toe poking it past Doyle. As we look into the second half, Gordon, we talked a lot about the keys to the game. We talked a lot about the shortcomings from Naparima College. In particular, what do you think that St. Mary's College needs to do to get back into the football game?
I think, well, first they got to make sure that they don't allow Vespri or Panto to get any one-on-one opportunities. We saw how good Vespri is on when he's one-on-one. So definitely, I think they got to control him and get their main man, Kyle Phillip, back on the attack.
Well, let's take it up to Colin as he would give us a preview into the second half.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Well, it's the centre midfielder for Naparima. He's had a lot of possession so far. That is Terrell Rajoon. Let's hear from the young man.
Coming season, I do not really feel pressured, simply because I know I've put in the right amount of work in order to shine this season and definitely catch a few eyes. My pre-game ritual would start by having a proper meal at lunchtime, followed by a bit of meditation and also a bit of music just to calm the nerves. There is a current player I look up to, which is Josiah Cooper. Given his international experience and his professionalism both on and off the field, my goals this season are to score as many goals as possible while also playing my role to the best of my ability. 2 things that gives my team an advantage on the field would be our mindset, and because we have so many youths on the squad this season, the energy that they bring to the team definitely would help us. I stay motivated throughout the season and through tough practices, simply by keeping in mind that there's an end goal after the season.
Okay, let's hear from the young man, the central defender, one of the central defenders from the Blue and White, St. Mary's, Mikai Pascal. Let's hear from him.
The preparation has been hard. We have been training since early July, every day, 2 times a day. Our coach has been guiding us real hard, and just mentally as a unit.
Okay, so we're here at St. Mary's Ground. It's 2-1. Naparima College, they're leading against St. Mary's College. Let's take a break and come back here at the St. Mary's College grounds. Welcome back to a very hot and sunny St. Mary's College, and they at the moment they're trailing against their southern counterparts Naparima College by 2-1. The officials are already on the field. The players are making their way out. The St. Mary's team, not seeing the Naparima team yet come out, but Gordon, 2-1 Naparima leading after St. Mary's took the lead. What do we expect in this second half?
Well, I think the St. Mary's College team, they're going to try to hit back. Earlier on, we saw that they are playing to a plan, which is to play solid defensively and then try to hit on the counter. Their two key men are Kyle Phillip and Ryan. They have been doing just what their coach has ordered thus far. They got the go-ahead goal. I think, though, there seemed to have been a problem with Mali Kalinda, which I pointed out. He seemed to be crying a bit of an injury after putting his body on the line for a couple of occasions in the first half. So I'm going to expect that from the St. Mary's College team. For Naparima, though, I think it's going to be more of the same in terms of possession, as we see there Ron Laffery on the far side, the iconic Ron Laffery.
Yeah.
But
Brent, you know, you're seeing what's happening here in Naparima coming back into this game. You know, what can St. Mary's do different?
Yeah, I think from a St. Mary's College perspective, you have to wonder if they. I think.
Well, Brent seems to be having a little bit of a problem with his mic, and we're going to get that fixed because, you know, when Brent wants to talk, he talks. And it's not nice when he wants to talk and he can't talk. He gets very upset, very angry. He's that kind of guy. But we seeing any changes? I think let's just see if there are changes to the starting lineup.
There seem to be Sicharan seems to have exited. So Sicharan is off, and we see number 19. He comes on. That's he's kicking the ball there. Yes.
So Francis
replaces
Kanya Francis replaces Zachary Sicharan.
Right.
So they've gone for more firepower because Francis was the one who scored a hat-trick in the opening game. So they've gone for more firepower, haven't they? So here is a wild kick by Humphrey. So it's going to be a throw for Naparima. And this Alexander is another change. Alexander for Hernandez. And then Khalees for Bailey. So they've made 3 changes.
Yes.
Naparima.
Looking to stop the back line there as they bring on Khalees, the number 13, defensively, as well as Hernandez. He goes off as well. I think it's a bit of a reaction to that Ryan Radaland goal, where he took out the wing-back Bailey and Hernandez in one swoop. So they're looking to stop things at the back, and they've added firepower in Francis in the attacking third.
So it's going to be a goal kick for St. Mary's. Just so here is Morris. This is Aguilera Nunes playing a nice ball here towards Wong. Wong getting the better of Hills. Looking to go, oh, that's a bad ball. He was trying to square it back in field to maybe an advance in Radalant on the far side, but it went straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. But here is Rajun. Still in possession, he does well, gets by one. He's got wide on that far side is Forbes. Forbes looking to come in field with it. And then...
In fact, it's Vespri there.
Yeah, that's Vespri. He's gone out on that far side, hasn't he?
Yeah, they've switched.
Yeah, they've switched. And Forbes has come over to the left side. And Vespri's gone over to that right side. That's interesting. So the confirmation there of the substitutions on the top of the screen. And Khalees there coming in for Bailey. Was the 3rd substitutions for Naparima. St. Mary's yet to make a substitution.
I think it's a signal of intent from the boys from the Southern Land. They're definitely showing that they want to go for the win here.
That's for sure. Well, it's going to be a throw. Seems to be a long one, trying to get into the box with it.
So it's Francis.
Sends it in field. And still, this is Francis. But it headed away, straight back to Francis. He does well. Plays it in field. And this is a good run there. And played back by Pascal. Eventually, St. Mary's having a little bit of problems to clear it. Eventually, it's sent upfield. This is Philip. Turns nicely with it. Does very well. Plays that ball just to his left towards McLeod. And it's well won by Vespri, but he can't keep it in, and it's going to be a throw for St. Mary's. Morris is going to take the throw. We see a substitution. St. Mary's making their first substitution. McLeod is making his way off.
McLean.
And the man coming on.
Yeah, Harper.
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 So Harper is making his way onto the field. So here goes down that right side. Is that Vespri? It is Vespri. Still in possession. Twisting, turning with it nicely. And eventually it's lost. This is Radaland. Radaland playing it in field, but it's won back here in the middle of the field by Naparima. This is Cooper. Gets it towards Hills. Francis. Long kick forward. This is problems. This is Vespri. He's onside. Vespri has it with his right foot, and that's a good tackle. That's a really good tackle in the end. It seemed to be Calendar.
Yeah, Calendar.
Yeah, he's back on the field and certainly doing yeoman service for St. Mary's as that ball is played forward. This is Forbes. Still Forbes looking to play a 1-2 with Francis. The ball is with Rajun. Gets it to Vespri. Kalis, who's come forward. It's played back here to Rajun. This is Pascal, the man who scored the first goal for Naparima. Hills, back to Cooper, but they give it away. This is Wong. Oh, he was looking to try to get rattled and going on the far side. It hit his own player in skipper Philip. This is Wong. Going to the byline. Can he get it over? He does. Oh, it's in the back of the no. It's hit the post. Well. The shot comes just over the bar. Well, you have to say St. Mary's should have equalized.
Yeah, definitely. It was a golden opportunity.
Great run from Wong, wasn't it?
Yeah, great cross as well. And he found Cooper there with the shot. And it just
hit the post, came back out.
Hanged off the bar.
Well, here is Naparima. It should be 2-2, but it's still Naparima 2, St. Mary's 1. Oh, that's a bad ball. That's a bad giveaway. Forbes! He's looking for the angle, and eventually it's cleared away. He should have had the shot. He was looking to get that right foot going. This game is starting to heat up now.
Yeah, it's opening up. Enter in action. Both teams looking for that knockout punch. The next goal in this contest is going to be very important.
Wong plays a good ball forward. Philip. Eventually it's played downfield. This is Forbes. Gets it to Pascal. Pascal goes wide to Vespri. Looking to come in field on that left foot of his. Still Vespri. He has the shot. Oh, bounces in front of the keeper, and boy oh boy, that could so easily have trickled into the back of the net. It did not, and it's going to be a corner for Naparima.
Yeah, good work there by Vespri. Looking for a moment of magic here. The ball bouncing beautifully for him. The keeper should have done a whole lot better.
Again, Gordon, we see the bounce of that ball. It was bouncing in front of him, and he did well, I thought, to get his body behind it.
Yeah, it's going out for a corner, and Brent is back. He's top.
Brent, are you back?
I was just allowing you two to get your voice in on the game, of course.
Here's the corner, and headed over the bar by Calendar. So it's going to be yet another corner.
Well, it has been end-to-end stuff, as you both have, of course, mentioned. And you just wonder, where's the next goal? And the next goal is going to be key. Because if it is a St. Mary's goal, is it going to get Naparima College back into action?
Yeah.
But if it's a Naparima goal, you might suggest that it's lights out for St. Mary's College.
Yeah, that's quite right.
But it has been entertaining stuff.
Yeah, it has. Here is the corner, headed away again. And yet, it's going to be another corner for Naparima.
The captain in his own defensive third there, Kyle Phillip. He's come back to do defensive duties.
That's a good header. And I'm not sure if goalkeeper Doyle made the save, or was it the defender on the line that assisted. Nevertheless, they kept the ball up because it did have power in it from Cooper, and it certainly had direction because it was headed into the back of the net.
Here goes, this is Kalis to Vespri, as this is Vespri, very much left-footed. He's gone on the right side. I was a little surprised about the ball played out here now, and on the near side to Francis. Hill's going down past him, but he decides to have a go, and really not a shot that would worry Doyle.
And I'm not sure it's the right decision, Vespri, on that side, because when he cuts in, he's cutting into 4 or 5 St. Mary's College jerseys, when he really would want your attacker to take on the wingback 1v1 and try to get across the face of the goal. But on a couple of occasions, gentlemen, we're looking at Vespri coming inside and he's running straight into St. Mary's traffic.
That's right. Well, here is
It's Caliste.
Caliste going. Is it Caliste?
It's spelled like a Black Stallion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Caliste.
Yeah, Caliste.
So here is Forbes. Francis. He's come on and he's looking to have a few shots. You know, I like the idea when these youngsters look to shoot, but you know, you've got to look when to shoot,
Correct.
how to shoot, why to shoot. You know, and some of them are just shooting on sight.
Yeah. Well, if they get a glimmer of goal, they believe they should be taking a shot, and that's not necessarily what you want to do, especially if you have a teammate in a better position.
Yeah.
It's gone a bit flat for both teams, and despite the fact that the second half started off really well with end-to-end action. And as I said, despite all of the possession that Naparima College have had, as despite the fact, of course, the Coca-Cola girls, they're calling any of those cold beverages to you? Have they come over to you yet?
No, they haven't.
To share?
I'm really surprised because
knowing how much of a fan of Coca-Cola you are.
Well, yeah, whether, you know, I mean, I'm just my demeanor, Brent, I thought they would have come over by me.
I'm not sure about your demeanor. I'm sure about you being a Coca-Cola fan.
Here is the ball played forward to Francis. He's looking to play a 1-2 with Forbes. He gets it. This could be 3-1. That's good. That's excellent. Francis has come on and he's made the difference. He's been shooting. We've said he's been shooting on side. He played a 1-2 there with Forbes. Excellent. And as you say, this is now 3-1 to Naparima. The goal coming in the 58th minute. And it could really now mean lights out for St. Mary's.
Yeah, and we talked about being innovative. I go back to that word, gentlemen. We used it in the first half. We talked about, despite the possession that Naparima College would have had, they would have been innovative. In this instance here, good 1-2, ball flicked over the top, and there's only one man there.
Excellent finish, though.
First to it, and plumps it into the back of the net. Innovation there, creativeness there, and a good goal, and composure, of course, as we mentioned before. And from our position, we've seen it. We've seen them possess the ball. We've seen them get into areas, but they've stopped because they've tried to do things that they shouldn't. But in that case there, right decision, right choices, and a good finish. And
and Francis showing why he scored the hat-trick in the first game. He's come on and he's been shooting on sight. He's been getting himself in an advanced position. He's been linking up with the man on top of the diamond. So he's definitely been a good addition since coming on.
Yeah, he's come on and with an attacking intent, hasn't he? And has really shown that. He's been all over the field. Here he is now, Francis. Looking to take on his man going down the right side, but trying to do a little too much. Takes it out of play, and it's going to be a throw for St. Mary's.
No, I think the question from a CIC perspective, are they going to start putting more numbers forward and being a bit more direct, as we see
another substitution?
Substitution.
Wong is coming off.
Yeah, and you have to wonder if it's a like-for-like change or if it's a tactical change. I'm looking at his positioning already, and he's going a bit more advanced than where Wong was. So it may be, of course, accompaniment for Kyle Phillips up front.
Yeah, he's been looking a bit lonely. Ryan
correct.
has also disappeared from the game since the introduction of Caliste on that right back side, his left-hand side. So they're trying to get something going. Not going to plan for St. Mary's after the break.
Well, here is the free kick. We see referee Sobers having a word with Rajun, it looks to be, in the box. Maybe a little bit of pushing, a little bit of shoving. So she's giving a quiet warning, saying that she's keeping an eye on any pushing or so in the box. And she's given that warning. Here's the free kick.
Ball.
Headed away. Raju sends a nice ball out to this near side as the ball played right through the middle, and away goes. Is that Francis? It is. He plays that short to Forbes. Forbes turning nicely with it. He's being confronted by two defenders at the moment, and eventually it's played out, and it's going to be a corner for Naparima.
Well, the pass was to Francis was probably a little bit under hit there. Needed a bit more into it as we have a look at the substitutes in St. Mary's. So a bit of a glum look on the bench. Still a lot of minutes to be played.
Here is the corner, played short and then sent across field, and Vespri can't keep it in. It's going to be a goal kick for St. Mary's.
Yeah, it's definitely, they're coming in waves now, this Naparima team.
I get the impression, and guys, you could tell me if I'm wrong, but the St. Mary's heads after that third goal seem to have dropped a little bit, and they need some sort of spark.
Yeah, definitely. Even before the third goal, there just seemed to be a bit of a lull in play.
Well, here is the man who has come on as a substitute, De Silva, and he's fouled, so it's going to be a free kick.
And picking up on what you said, Colin, you're right. I think even coming into the second half, Gordon was rightfully mentioning, they seemed a bit flat coming into it. Still just down by 1 goal. You wonder if conceding 2 goals right before the half may have caused that. But there's so much time left to play, and they seemingly getting a lot of joy with Radeland up front, and of course, young Kyle Phillips supported him.
We haven't seen much of him in the second half.
No, you haven't, not at all. And may I credit the man here on the ball for that.
Yeah, Kalis, he's come on.
And
he's really taking him out of the game.
Well, the ball played up front. There is Panto flicking it on, but it's one back here as Kalis comes forward with it, gets it to Panto. He's playing it over here. This is Forbes. Making the run is Francis, but Forbes coming in field with it to Rajun. And the loose ball picked up by Pascal. He plays a nice ball out to that right side and played through. This could be another chance here, but that's good defending. And the
Mali Kalinda there.
Of Calendar. So he...
And going down, it seems to be
Pascal. Is it Pascal?
Pascal seems to have gone down.
The other central defender. Of course, the Pascal and Calendar are the central defenders for St. Mary's.
Yeah, very experienced pair. Holding the groin area, as we see some of the fans there.
Yeah, you know,
supporting.
I thought we would have seen the pavilion is pretty crowded. The pavilion is,
and rightfully so, because it's scorching hot.
Yeah,
I know you're.
That's about the only place we shade, right?
Yeah. And I know you were about to say normally we see quite a few fans as we take a look at the Jerry Panton Pavilion packed to capacity, but normally along the ground you say, but it's probably a bit too hot of a day to be standing and watching, as much as you may like watching your alma mater play or supporting the team. As we have another look here at the Pascal goal. What I like about this goal, gentlemen, is the composure on it. We've seen so many times players lash the ball over the bar and wide and errant, but what he did, he composed himself and placed it into the back of it. And another goal here by Vespri, good bit of skill, and pokes it past Doyle in goal. And Colin, Gordon, maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back, because St. Mary's have been, as we've all agreed, very flat in the second half.
It was on the stroke of half time, and then coming into the second half, this beautiful 1-2, and Francis was clean through.
Yeah.
Well, here is so that is the third goal for Naparima, but we're back live here with a corner, and it's cleared up field, so it's going to be a throw for Naparima.
Naparima have set up shop in the St. Mary's College half in the second half thus far.
Vespri, good save by Doyle. So the loose ball there came to Vespri. He had the shot, but it was hit high. Well, the goalkeeper, Doyle, had to save because it seemed to be going in the roof of the net.
He was in a very impossible angle, though. Would have been better suited to pull it back. As we see some of the fans there just supporting, probably coming from lessons. The league thus far.
Lessons, Gordon, on a Saturday? You did lessons on a Saturday?
Definitely.
You reminded me of Brent. I didn't realize you do lessons on a Saturday.
I didn't need lessons, Colin.
I thought Saturday was a day for sport.
I didn't need the lessons, Colin, sorry.
So, but here's the Forbes looking to go to that far corner, but went high over the bar, and it's going to be a goal kick.
I was scholastically filled by Friday. Looks like a substitution. A
substitution for Naparima, and let's see who's making his way off. So Vespri is coming off, and let's see who's coming on.
So 11 goes off.
Yep, Vespri is off. France.
France. Zaron France comes in and Vespri goes out as we have an update from the Jamaican game. As Naparima.
So here is Naparima coming forward again, and this is another opportunity. But a good challenge again coming from that man Calendar.
He's been awesome for his team in defense. He's been a pillar of strength. But he'll be needing to do a whole lot more as he'll have to defend against this corner. Francis takes it short.
Here is it sent in field and cleared away. But it's going to come right back at the defenders, and then the shot goes wide.
That was Cooper, Josiah Cooper with the shot there.
Cooper coming up from Josiah Cooper coming up from the back, having the shot, and it's gone wide. So just a score coming out of a final score. Well, it's Glenmore High. A game that's going on now, Glenmore High. It's now 1-1 between Glenmore High and Central High. That's in Jamaica. And we have out of the secondary schools in Benedict's and East Mukarapo at halftime, it's goalless. And then we have Sawan North, they're leading Pleasantville by 4-0. So those are some of the scores out of Jamaica, and then some of the scores here in Trinidad. But it's going to be a free kick. It's going to be Pascal, or is he going to leave it for Cooper? The sun has left us for a moment or two, so at least it's not scorching hot sun at the moment. But it's still humid, it's still pretty hot. It's just that hopefully the sun will stay behind whatever cloud it's found itself behind. Is it going to be Pascal or is it going to be Cooper? It's going to be Pascal. He goes for goal. Oh, that's not a bad effort. That's a good save by Doyle. He had to push it. He couldn't hold it, but it had some power behind it. It was from about 30, 35 yards out, and he had a crack. It was on target, but Doyle was equal to it.
Yeah, good technique. Laces head down and straight on target. Probably would have wanted to see either the left or right of Doyle a bit more, but the mere fact that he kept it under the bar and followed through with the laces suggests that it was a well-struck free kick. And as you rightfully said, Colin, there's a lot of power on it.
Well, coming in at the far post there, didn't make any contact at the far post. Was it? It seemed to be Cooper was one, yeah. And was sent towards that far post, and Cooper came in, but just couldn't make contact with the ball. So coming up just 68 and a half minutes gone here. Naparima leading at the moment comfortably by 3-1. Just not seeing a way back, guys, for St. Mary's at the moment.
Definitely. We've also seen the effects of getting downhill. The Naparima team has definitely lived in the St. Mary's College half in this half. And you've also the wind, not much of a wind blowing at this time, but normally you've got to get the goals when you're kicking to the southern end. When you're kicking to the northern end, you're actually kicking uphill.
Well, I think as well as the fact that, to add to that, Gordon, they put out a lot of energy in the first half, St. Mary's College, to close Naparima College down. They were shifted a lot from side to side because, as we mentioned, Naparima College possessed the ball for long spells. And maybe this is the impact or the effect of chasing the ball. They do look flat. They do look a bit leg weary. Before they were challenging. They were first to the ball on some occasions. Now they're not anywhere near those levels anymore. And despite the changes, guys, it still hasn't impacted what we've seen from them in the second half.
Well, they've got a free kick in a pretty dangerous position. Bit of a handball, says referee Crystal Sobers. And it's going to be a free kick for St. Mary's. It's pretty far out, but still, who knows? Some power on either side of the keeper.
Well, there are 4 suspects.
Take your pick.
Seems like it's going to be Nunes. Aguilera Nunes.
Well, an interesting free kick. They've got a corner out of it. I'm sure they would have preferred to get the keeper
Tested.
Yep, keeper Romain. But
Brent is shaking his head like he disagrees with the option taken.
Yeah, it's an idea that you wouldn't use 30 to 30 yards out from goal. Maybe if you're a bit closer, you could utilize that trickery. But that far out, you just need to get a good strike on goal.
Well, that's good handling from the keeper with the corner and quickly tries to get an attack going. It's Panto. Gets it back to Callis. He plays it in field towards Pascal. Pascal plays this ball nice on this near side, his Hills. Looking to get Francis going. Well, Gordon is saying handball, but referee Sobers says, test your eyes, Gordon, because there's no handball. But here goes, this is, let's see, the man who has come on as a substitute, De Silva. But it's won by Cooper, and De Silva just nibbles at the back of his ankle, and immediately referee blows to say it's going to be a free kick. Another change for Naparima. Panto is off, and the man coming on is Nathaniel Ogaro. That's a familiar name, Brent.
Yeah, and we've seen several of these players that would have started in the first game, starting on the bench for this game. Maybe a bit of rotation in the squad, or maybe some other reason.
Well, I tell you what, though, it shows the quality of the Naparima players.
It certainly is lifted.
Because you look at some of the substitutes that have come on, Francis in particular,
yeah.
He's been a live wire, you know, and the thing about him, what I like about him, he seems to have an eye for goal.
Yeah.
You know, so and Ogaro.
And Callis as well.
I was not going to say Jelani Callis.
Yeah.
He's come on and he's done a good job, of course.
Taking out.
The wing play for St. Mary's College that was going quite well for the Radland was doing very well down that side. Yeah. Callis has come in and has shut that door.
Yep.
And as you mentioned, Francis being a bit more on the front foot, trying to break lines and get ahead, and has been the difference as well. So they've been able to bring players on that have changed the quality of what Naparima College was producing in the first half. And as much as we make question marks towards the St. Mary's performance in the second half, you have to lay credit at Naparima College's feet, because they have been very, very good in the second half, a lot better than what we saw in the first half.
Yeah, when you look at Alexander as well, the stopper that they brought in for Hernandez, he's also fitting quite well with Cooper. And
well, I think that's a high level of relaxation.
Well, my word.
Well, it's a hot day, and if you want to make a phone call on a hot day, the best thing to do is to sit alongside the advertisement board. It's probably a couple of degrees cooler there. So, Colin, if you do want to make a call, that's the place you do it.
Okay. Thanks for the advice, Brent. I will think about it. But, you know, I was talking about the sun was behind a cloud. I don't know where the cloud has gone, because it's come right back at us. The sun, it's been a scorch. What's going on with the weather, guys? What's happening in Trinidad and Tobago? Let's have a look at the stats. Well, it's 50-50 in terms of possession. That's a little bit surprising to me.
Yeah.
I thought Naparima was going to have...
achieved it.
Yeah.
And they've dropped in the pass completion, Naparima,
well,
from 71 to 68. Is there a heat index stat as well?
We're on a yellow alert or something like that. I mean, I thought we only had yellow alert when we had storm. I didn't know we had a yellow alert for heat. But
it was a lesson for me as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. We have not, and we're in September.
We're in the rainy season.
Yeah, rainy season.
Yeah, but it's throughout the region that we've seen that weather. But in terms of its impact in the game, I still think the tempo of the game has still been played at quite a decent tempo, despite the weather. I'm sweating bullets just watching these guys. I could imagine running and trying to sprint in this temperature.
Well, I don't have that problem, Brent. I'm playing regularly, so I'm fit.
You never run anyway when you did play.
I'm fit, so I'm playing regularly at this point.
Well, you're playing your normal style, the walking pace.
However, Naparima looking to go forward with it, but it's won back here and sent upfield. Pascal trying to get it towards Cooper, and it's sent back upfield. De Silva confronted by Hills, gets the better of him, gets it to Philip. We haven't seen much of him either in the game. Plays it in field. And the shot comes, not a good one. Never really got over the ball.
Cooper would definitely want that one back.
Yeah, he would.
Didn't get over it.
Seemed to be hustled at the end though, but still should have done better.
As Anthony Sherwood there, just taking a bit of refreshment.
So St. Mary's, again, trying to come forward. And they get a free kick. So 75 minutes gone, so just 15 more minutes of this game for St. Mary's to try and pull something out of the hat.
I think this free kick here is very important to them. I think if they can get a goal from this or a play out of this, they can definitely set us up for an interesting last 12 minutes or so.
Well, it needs a good delivery, first and foremost. And they've had a couple balls into the box, but they haven't found the beating yet of Cooper at the back, who's been certainly at his aerial best so far. So that's to have a good service.
Well, here is the free kick.
Too
close to the keeper.
Again, the keeper calls and is left at 7 and 6s.
That's well won by St. Mary's as they look to come forward with it. Philip getting that one towards that's Harper to Humphrey.
Philip.
That's cool by Callis. Takes his time and just heads it back to the keeper.
Kyle Phillips should have done a whole lot better there. A good delivery by Humphreys and a weak header.
Yeah, we haven't seen Humphrey going forward all that much, so he went forward there, and as you rightly said, a good delivery. But here's Francis. Oh, that's well intercepted. But Francis still in possession. Pascal plays a nice ball wide. Oh, this is a good run. Oh, it just goes wide.
Beautiful run there by France.
Yeah, the man who came on as a substitute, France. He took on the defender and tried to go into that far corner and just went inches wide. What a good run.
Definitely got the better there of Humphreys. And he tried to put it into the far corner, just dragging it wider. So Naparima showing that they're not just finished as yet.
They're looking for another one. So
De Silva
holds up the play. Gets it nicely back to Harper. Getting it to Humphrey. Humphrey playing that ball forward to Philip. Philip trying to play a 1-2. That's good interception by the man who came on as a substitute, Alexander. But here goes Francis. He's been so much in the game. Plays a good ball wide on that right side. Here is another opportunity. Francis, he's looking for the shot. Goes out to the left foot. Oh, is it a penalty? Yes. He's got the call. He stuck it on the right foot, was about to shoot, went back on the left foot and was about to pull the trigger, and he was brought down.
I love to see the replay on that one.
You're not convinced, Gordon?
Not convinced at all.
I would. Okay.
Crystal Sobers there.
She was right on spot, though.
Right on spot.
Now, we do want to apologize for any colorful language that you've been hearing on the broadcast. But let's have a look. Gordon, what are you saying?
Well, he beat the keeper, he beat the cameraman and all. It was such good work by Francis. The cameraman thought the ball had already gone. But I'm still not convinced. I think he slipped on the ball.
Well, he's got up to take the penalty himself to make it Naparima 4, St. Mary's 1. Can he do it? Francis. Oh, my word. That's a poor penalty if you ever seen one. My word. What did he do? Again, maybe he's watching too much TV because he tried to chip it. The keeper never went left or right.
It was horrible. It was a really, really poor
Oh, my
penalty.
word.
And it showed a lot of a lack of discipline as well. Your team's up 3-1. A fourth goal for sure would put this out, and he's let not just himself down, but his teammates down as well.
I tell you,
it was never on. The chip wasn't on.
But Brent, he's been having such a good game since he came on. You know, I mean, what was that about?
Well, it's really poor. It's poorly executed. It's a poor decision in the first place to take it. And I've seen in some instances, even at the highest level, gentlemen, where sometimes the coaches will pull you off after, of course, making such a move.
Yeah, well, here goes Naparima again, but...
And you want to encourage kids to be creative and expressing themselves, but that's just not it. That's not on for me.
I agree 100% with that. You have a penalty, go up to the penalty, you decide if you're going for a corner and you hit it as hard as you can. Put it away.
And what's sad about all of this is that he's shown so much promise since he's come on, and now he's blotted his copybook with that penalty, and he will be remembered for that penalty and not for the good things he's done in the game. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah, especially if St. Mary's is to pull back one anytime soon.
Well, they've got a corner.
Jogging across to take it, Aguilera Nunes. He's been the dead ball specialist, but he's not delivered quite as much as we expected from him, though.
Well, lots of blue and white shirts in the box, 6 of them. Let's see, but Naparima, everybody back except the one man up.
Nathaniel Ogaro.
Yeah, it's Ogaro. But here is the corner, not a bad one. The heads go up and it's headed away. And the shot comes, but it goes to Philip. But a handle ball, and it's going to be a free kick. We see referee Sobers, player down on the ground at the moment. So referee Sobers has called for the physio.
As we see some of the fans there again. Youngsters supporting, showing that the team that they're supporting, the blue and white, Colin, not the blue and yellow.
That's all right. The blue and yellow will have its turn, I'm sure. You just have to watch Brent, and you know, he wouldn't answer, he wouldn't say anything when I say things like that, Gordon. But it's all right.
Father and son sharing a moment at the games here. These games, though, have been very exciting thus far, Colin and Brent.
Yeah, it's you know, it's that's what the secondary schools is about, really and truly. The goals, the excitement. You know, coming out to support parents, family. St. Mary's making another substitution. Cooper is off and Miguel is on. Yeah, that's what the beauty of secondary schools is all about. I think the goals, the excitement, the energy, the effort. I think what we all want to see as well with all of that is a little bit more skill, a little bit more technique. You know, that type of thing. But here is the ball played out towards, let's see, this is the man who has come on.
France.
It's come wide on that left side, replacing Vespri, even though Vespri was on the right at the time.
He finds himself in the referee's book.
Yes, he's got a yellow.
So it's going to be Humphreys who's going to deliver this one.
Let's see if he can get it. Lots of blue and white shirts in the box. There's Humphrey. That's not a bad one. And the heads go up. And it's put into the back of the net. So they've pulled one back. St. Mary's, it's Philip. He's finally put his school back in this game. They've not got much time. They've got just about 6.5 minutes and added on time. But the important thing is that it's now 3-2. Gordon, I think you made mention of it. If St. Mary's can pull a goal back, we could have a grandstand finish. Here is the free kick.
Beautiful delivery there by Humphrey, and it bubbled up, and the first man to respond was Kyle Phillip. Beautiful technique, slotting past Romain, and it's 3-2 here at the St. Mary's College ground.
There's the shot coming from Rajoon. This is Francis.
Father Gary Pantin Pavilion is alive with fans. They're clapping.
Yeah, well, the chant is going back up, but here is France. Has he had a crack? And the keeper says, well.
Brilliant save by Doyle.
Oh, what a save. That was hit with some power by France. Again, we have seen them. He cut inside, and he absolutely hammered it. And there is the save from Doyle. He did well to push it over the bar.
Yeah, beautiful save, keeping his team in the game. But it's definitely opened up here. And Francis with that cheeky penalty, just leaving the door open for the St. Mary's College. And they're coming.
Well, you have to now think you know, how a big a miss that penalty will be. If St. Mary's can pull another one back and come away here with a point, well, I don't think Francis will be able to sleep well tonight. So
well, I'm not sure he'd be allowed on the bus back down to South.
Well, yeah, we know if you were the coach, you would have given him a taxi.
Well, I am highly disappointed, and merely because of the levels he set when he's come onto the pitch. He's really given Naparima College almost a lift in their performance, and would even argue, gentlemen, that it's the reason why they're in front, because of his play in the second half.
Well, he can make amends there. He stands over this corner.
Yes, and he's sends it over to the far side. The heads go up, and St. Mary's trying to come away with it, but then really a nothing effort coming from the back there by Alexander. Not sure what he was trying to do, if he went for goal but whatever he did, it just went high over the bar. So the goal kick has been taken, but again, it's a little bit of pushing, and it's going to be a free kick for St. Mary's. Suddenly, there's a pep in their step.
Yeah, there's a lot of belief. You're looking at their body language now, and
totally different.
It's a totally different St. Mary's outfit.
Well, they've got just about 4.5 minutes and added on time to try and at least get an equalizer. So here is the free kick. Sent upfield. The heads go up. Headed on. This is De Silva. No, that's not De Silva. That is, yep. But it's lost and sent downfield. Francis. This is, well won.
Good defensive work.
I tell you what, all of a sudden the fans have also awoken here at St. Mary's ground. You're hearing noise that you weren't hearing before. Anything that's a bad miss, but luckily Calendar is there to cover, and it's going to be a throw for St. Mary's. No, sorry, for Naparima.
So grandstand finish set up here. Just about 2.5 left in this one.
Maybe about 5-6 minutes of added on time, so it's certainly not over yet.
Good work by Marley Kalinda there.
It's going to be a throw for St. Mary's as they start to come forward again. Radelant has come over to the right side, and De Silva, he's gone over to the left side for St. Mary's. Yes. So again, maybe that Kalis was the cause of that.
Yeah, Kalis had definitely taken Radelant out of the game.
Well, this is Radelant now, getting it from Humphrey. Kai Phillip making the run. This is Kai Phillip. That's good defending by Cooper. Yeah. Sort of just nudged him out of the way.
Yeah, the experience of Cooper there. He came across, just put his body between the man and the ball, knew he didn't have to make a challenge. And the ball just getting into the arms, the feet first, and then the arms of Romain.
Word is coming that there's going to be about 4 minutes of added on time. As that ball went out of play, it's going to be a throw for St. Mary's, is it? No, it's got through for Naparima. As we're coming up into the final minute of the 90. Free kick for St. Mary's. It's going to be Humphrey.
Colin and Brent, what have we learned from the matchup of these two teams? They were heavy goal scorers in the first game of the first match day. But what has we learned with them playing against each other thus far?
Well, I think when you look at St. Mary's College and you look at the gilded chances that they had in the first half, again, I go back to the fact the team that has scored 10 goals, I believe, is 8 goals, sorry, in their first game. You would have thought those sorts of chances would have been put away. We may have been having a different look at this game. As we see, substitution by St. Mary's College. One last roll of the die.
Radelant, the goal scorer, is coming off.
Which is a bit surprising. If it's anyone you think could conjure up something, it would have been him.
And it's Nathan Young comes in.
Yeah, Nathan Young comes in for Radelant. And you have to wonder from that perspective if St. Mary's was a lot more, a lot better in the final third. May have been a different call.
Well, the added on time has now gone, from what we understand, to 5 minutes, and we are in that 5 minutes added on time. I think Naparima has been the better side overall.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt they've been the better team.
But I think St. Mary's, with the chances they created, they must be wondering, hey, how are we behind?
Yeah, and I think from Naparima perspective, this man here on the ball have certainly come on and added a spark, but they still look short of ideas when they get into the final third. And that's a bit of a concern for a team that is so pleasing on the eye when they possess the football and they stroke it around the middle of the park in Rajun and Pascal. But when they get into these areas here, again, there's a lot of indecisiveness, there's a lot of question marks. And that's one thing I think moving forward to your question, Gordon, they have to be better in.
Brent, you have seen live St. Benedict's, Fatima and Sanwa North. How do they compare with these two teams?
I think Naparima College certainly could match up with those teams, but again, they have to be a confirmation of the yellow card there for Carl Francis. They do match up with those teams as we have another look at. That was very late. He's lucky to be on the pitch.
Yeah, he's lucky to get a yellow card alone.
Yeah, he's lucky just to still be on the pitch because that was naughty.
Yeah, terrible.
That's a horrible challenge. And they do compare, but I think the cutting edge that Benedicts have and San Juan North that we saw in the game that they played, and to a lesser extent Fatima. I think Fatima is in the same category with Naparima College, where that cutting edge up front is lacking. Of course, albeit they scored 3 goals in their first game against St. Benedict's, and then they went on to hammer St. Anthony 7. Yeah. So I do feel Naparima, and I think St. Mary's probably a tear down from the teams that we would have mentioned. But again, gentlemen, of course, football is played on the pitch.
That's right.
But from what we've seen, and it's still early days, you would think that San Juan North, and of course you have to put a caveat next to it because they did play in Bookmore Arches, which is a lot tighter and smaller facility. But when you see the likes of Sween and Kwashi in particular for them, you would think that they would be in the reckonings.
Back to this game though, Kanye Francis, he's done the good, the bad and the ugly. He scored, he's missed the penalty, he's also gotten a yellow card, and look, he's on the ball here trying.
Well, I don't know which is the bad and the ugly, because the penalty was terrible, that was ugly, and the free kick was also ugly. So maybe it's the good and the ugly and the ugly, or the good, the ugly and the uglier.
Well, he's lucky to be on the pitch on 2 situations. From a coaching perspective, there are many coaches that probably would have taken him off the pitch for that penalty. And then from, of course, that horrendous challenge, really. He somehow may have gotten into referee Crystal Sobot's good books because some reason she didn't show him a red card, because that was poor.
Well, here is Naparima looking to come forward. The shot deflected, but
that looked like it was going in.
Yeah, I think no, but well, it's a goal kick.
It's a goal kick.
Yeah,
it was deflected, but it probably came off a Naparima
player. So a goal kick here. So we just about a minute and a half left for added on time.
For me though, I think we see another substitution about to be made, and it's number 5 who's coming.
That's Calendar.
Yeah,
no, Pascal is the man coming off.
And number 2 is
Manswell.
Yeah, Jalen Manswell, who comes on. So it's the last cast of the die for the St. Mary's College boys.
Well, I know this is around the time we ask who's the man of the match. I'll let you gentlemen decide.
Very good.
Can you ask me a harder question than that, man? That's too easy.
I like the captain, Rajun, in the middle of the park. He's kept it flowing, both him and Pascal.
Good. Yeah, I like Pascal, actually.
Yeah, they've been very solid.
Yeah. I like Pascal.
Yeah, Pascal.
You know, and the goal he took, he actually got Naparima back in the game.
Yeah, we definitely think that it's Pascal will be the man of the match. That's Joran Pascal from Naparima, the number 4, who got the go-ahead goal for the equalizing goal.
He actually got the equalizer to get Naparima back in the game.
Yeah.
And it was a well-taken goal. The run was good, and it was certainly a well-taken goal. But here is Phillips still trying. And it's gone out of play, so it's going to be a throw.
So
we have played the 5 minutes already of added on time, so we're just waiting on referee Sobers' whistle.
Yeah, all eyes on referee Crystal Sobers. Naparima taking their time with everything.
As you expect. So here is long throw sent downfield.
Never came on.
Yep, so they'll have to retake it.
Guess who's on the ball? Kanye Francis.
He's taking the throws, he's taking the penalties, he's committing the infringements. He's the man of the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
taking up for his name, Kanye.
Another throw for Naparima, so they've made some meters going down that right side as referee Sobers blows the final whistle to indicate that the game has come to an end, and it is also indicated that Naparima, they've come away winners here by 3 goals to 2, a game that really seesawed. St. Mary's took the lead, and just before half-time, Naparima, with a double strike, went 2-1 up, and then in the second half, they went further in the lead, 3-1, and you thought, well, they got a penalty, and you thought, well, if they were to score that, that would be the end of that. They did not, and St. Mary's got a late goal to make it a little bit of an interesting finish at 3-2, but that was all. St. Mary's couldn't get back in the game, and I think Naparima certainly came away with a deserved victory, guys.
Yeah, definitely Naparima coming away with a deserved victory. Kudos to the St. Mary's College boys. They definitely fought tooth and nail. They didn't give up easily. Coach Travis Morin, he'll be quite happy with the result. He'll not be quite happy with the performance though, as we have some of the highlights. It was Naparima who got things going first. Vespri with the early opportunity, then Kyle Phillip with this one-on-one opportunity. He had many things on his mind, none of them being the right decision. But then it was a moment of magic in the 37th minute. In fact, that's a save there by Radelant. A long-range shot. Good save by Doyle.
Another good save there by Doyle.
Yeah, Panto there.
Using his foot to keep it out.
And this was the moment of magic. Ryan Radelant came inside. What a finish. The St. Mary's.
He hit it beautifully. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. From the time he cut in, you knew where that ball was going. He hit it beautifully. That was a superb goal. Yeah,
the Razataza was rumbling here at the St. Mary's College ground. But before the halftime whistle, here came the response. Pascal, what a finish. Clinical, composed, and beautiful. He brought his team level. And if that was good, this one was even better. Vespri winning the first battle against Humphrey, and then toe poking it past the keeper to put his team up 2 goals to 1. The goal was beautiful. The celebration was even better.
Yep, there he goes. And then the second half started, and you felt that 2-1 if Naparima were to go ahead. But St. Mary's, again, being a little unlucky, hit the post, Gordon.
Yeah, they had the opportunity to pull things level. You miss at one end, and there's a thumping header. Good save there by Doyle. But when you miss at one end, you need to pay at the other. A beautiful 1-2.
Took it well, Francis.
Anya Francis. Remember the name. He banged it into the back of the net. And at this point, the Naparima College team was sailing here in Port of Spain.
And the penalty? Yeah, I know you had your doubts, but that was an awful penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
My word.
And Humphreys here with a beautiful ball in the area. Kyle Phillip faced to react. He banged it home. 84 minutes on the clock. And with 6 minutes to go, all to play for. But in the end, Naparima, they could not St. Mary's, they could not find their way back, and Naparima wins this one 3-2.
Yes, certainly Naparima comfortable. Let's have a quick look at the stats there. Shots 17-9, and then shots on target 10 for Naparima, 5 St. Mary's. Fouls 10-5. The yellow cards 3 for Naparima, none for St. Mary's. No red cards. Offsides 3 to Naparima. There were 5 corners to 11 corners from Naparima. Again, they dominated, and then St. Mary's 7 saves by Doyle as opposed to 3 by Tyrese Romain in the Naparima goal. Surprisingly, the possession 53% for St. Mary's, 47% for Naparima, but that statistic right at the top there in green, that's the most important one. Naparima 3, St. Mary's 2. So that is the stats. We're going to go down now to Hans. He's got the man of the match with him.
Thank you very much, Colin Murray. Thank you very much, Gordon. Congratulations, Jaron Pascal. Here is your trophy. Man of the match today. Your goal put Naparima back in the game. What was going through your mind at that point in time, 42 minutes into the game?
Well, it's just about hard work, you know. I just wanted to level off the game, to go into the half, to give yourself a good chance in the second half, and that's what I did.
All right, what can we expect from Naparima College for the rest of the season?
You can expect big things from Naparima. Just continue our winning form going forward, and we'll be good.
Thank you very much, Jaron Pascal. Congratulations to you. Right now, we join Brent Sancho with our coaches here at St. Mary's Grounds in St. Clair. We have Coach Grayson here with Brent Sancho.
Thank you very much, Hans. Coach Grayson, obviously a disappointing result. You had a couple of chances in the first half. Maybe you should have put away. What's your assessment of the 90 minutes plus?
That's right. Well, I'll tell you what. Coming up against a team like this, 3-2, I thought a draw might have been a better result, but we played pretty well. We played pretty well. Bits and pieces, yes, but we played pretty well. As you said, we should have gone up 2-0 in the first half. That wasn't to be. That's how football is played. They came off to 1. We managed to get it back to 3-2, and you know, so it's coming from playing a game Wednesday, you know, and then coming here now to play against really tough opposition. We know it won't have been easy.
Well, of course, in the second half, the tempo that you set in the first half dipped a little bit. Of course, the humidity may have played a part. What are some of the things that you look at moving into your next game of the season?
Well, I'll tell you what, coming into the season, one of the weakest points was the goalkeeper. Well, when I say goalkeeper, goalkeepers, whatever it is. And this young man today, I mean, he justified his place now on the team. The midfield, since last year we're coming off, we're not always as tough as we're supposed to be, but we're learning. And I think that will go well for us in the next few games. I was telling the other guy, there's 13 games to go. 13 games to go. Not all 13 games will be like naps.
Thank you very much, Coach. All the best to you to the rest of the season.
Great.
Of course, Coach Travis Marine, now the winning coach this afternoon. Coach, a tale of two halves. What's your assessment?
Definitely. Well, you have to give credit to CIC. You know, they battled till the end. I think that this result is a blessing in disguise because coming off a 10-0 victory, guys can get a bit complacent. And I think that's my biggest challenge this year is to battle that complacency, especially off the field.
Well, in particular, in the middle of the park, Raju and Pascal, the eventual man of the match, looked very solid. But it seemed to be a little lack of creativity somewhere in along the lines of Naparima College. Is that something you're a little bit concerned about?
Well, not really. I think they overcomplicated the game at times. You know, too many touches. 2 touches would have done the job. They took 3 and 4. My wingers, they were constantly picking up the ball at the half line and dribbling. You know, those are some of the things that we need to eliminate from their game. Simplify the game, simple, quick football, and I think we will get the job done.
Thank you very much, Travis, and all the best.
Thank you very much, Coach Travis Mulrain. Thank you very much, Brent Sancho. This is where we get ready to wrap it up here at St. Mary's Grounds in St. Clair, Trinidad and Tobago. What a match it was. Final score 3-2, but we get ready on Wednesday for the Mukarapo Derby. East Mukarapo Secondary go up against Fatima College. Thank you so much for viewing Secondary Schools Football League Premiership Division. On behalf of the entire SportsMax crew, my name is Hans Devines. Thank you for watching. Join us next time.